So let us start with accounting for AS and AD. So let us have a brief overview, syllabus overview. So you can see you might have got some books which have been given to you by your friends or relatives. There may be some notes already available, and you may be having some question papers and some written stuff or some material with you. So you may be confused whether to use it or not, and whether the syllabus have changed or what. So many doubts will be there. So see, accountancy is not so constantly changing like other subjects like be it taxation or law, because law is regularly changing. It is regularly updated, but accountancy is not so frequently changing. Like you will be learning, but with some small modifications. Yes, you can use 2025 books, 2023 books. Uh, you can use the previous books also for reference, and all the concepts are almost similar. So there may be small changes. There may be small changes. So which will be incorporated in the new syllabus. So you don't have to worry much. So you will gradually learn. So if you have any old books, then also you can start learning, and you can study with the new books as well. So don't think the old books are waste and you have to discard them or something like that. Okay. So let us have a brief overview of the syllabus. See, the same syllabus, there are syllabus in 2023-25, the old syllabus. So old syllabus or and new syllabus, there are not much change. So almost they are same. So why should we bother about the old syllabus? So let's not waste our time on the old syllabus. Let's dive into the concept of new syllabus. So we'll see what all is included in new syllabus. So just go through this brief. Just go through this. It will take hardly some time for you to go through, and this very important inputs have been given so that you can have a systematic approach towards the subject. Okay, so then, so what will be there? AS level topics, A level topics, AS level topics, type of business entity, the accounting system, accounting for non-current assets, reconciliation and verification, preparation of financial statements, analysis and communication of accounting information, cost and cost behavior. So this is from cost and management accounting. So cost and cost behavior, traditional costing methods. So A-level topics: preparation of financial statements, regular ethical considerations, business acquisition and merger, computer accounting systems, analysis and communication of accounting information, activity-based costing, standard costing, budgeting, and budgetary control, investment appraisal. So these are the things. So let us go in detail. So let us go in detail. Like see, what does it say? Cambridge International ES and 11 previous students well for university because they are learned to go into subject in considerable depth that there is that ability to really understand the depth and richness of the determined subject. It's a wonderful preparation for what they're going to face at the university. Okay, so you should be proactive. Don't be procrastinating. So be uh, structured. So there are three stages for you to learn the subject. So one is knowledge and understanding, first thing, then analysis and capability, then evaluation skills. So all these things are required. So to understand this, your basic conceptual skills should be very strong. So conceptual skills, application of conceptual skills is very much important. So AS level content. So what all will be the AS level content? So first, types of business entity. What are the various types of business entity? Like the different types of business entity, like sole trader, partnership, limited company. Oh, who is a sole trader? Sole trader is when you as a person start your own business. When a single person starts a business on his own, he is called sole trader. Sole means one trader. Only one trader is involved. So he starts the business and he runs everything on his own. So partnership is a what do you say? It is association of two more than two people, maybe two or more than two. Okay, so association, and then they pool their resources and they do the business. So that is what is partnership. So limited company. So limited company in this the shares and all. So any number of people can invest in shares and they can start doing the business. So then it is called limited company, including public limited company. Public limited company. So this is also an entity where you can do the business as a separate person along with so then the accounting system, what is there in the next lesson? So the first lesson is the first thing what you have to know is all about these types of business entity. What are the different types of business entity? Understanding of sole trader partnership. So again, advantages and disadvantages of these types of business entity, sources of finance and methods of financing business, including loans, secure and secured bank overdraft. So there may be questions based on this. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Okay, so questions on limited liability partnerships will not be given. So there is one more entity called limited liability partnerships, or it is known as LLP. Okay, so you don't have to. Questions will not ask any. No questions will be asked from this. So only sole trader partnership limited company. So including public limited company. So the questions will be based on this. So in particularly in each level you will be asked questions. You need to understand what are the benefits, what are the advantages, disadvantages of sole trader partnership, advantages, disadvantages, limited company, advantages, disadvantages, sources of finance and methods of finance. So what are the advantages, disadvantages vis-a-vis sole trader partnership, vis-a-vis partnership limited company, partner sole trader vis-a-vis limited company. So all these things. So a candidate is expected to use their understanding of the types of business entity to take relevant decisions. Okay, so you are supposed to take relevant decisions, and the questions may be based out of this. So you have to ask, you have to answer you have to answer the questions based on your understanding of these conceptual skills. This is the first thing, and it is very very important. Okay, so very important. You need to know this particular aspect. The accounting system. So the next part is accounting system. So accounting system is candidates will examine the need for systematic recording of business transactions for how the double entry can be used to achieve the aim. So accounting system, what do you mean by double entry system? How to record business transactions? What is this accounting system? The role of books of prime entry in the recording of business transactions like sales journal, sales return journal, purchase journal. So all these books of accounts. Okay, so in a business, you need to maintain all these books. When the transactions are in a large quantity, you need to maintain all these books, and you need to maintain a record. So then you have to, you have to learn how to prepare preparation of ledger accounts. The purpose of trial balance, how to prepare trial balance, advantages and disadvantages of maintaining full accounting records. So what is the double entry system, and why we are doing that? So we have to understand the basic concepts like business entity concept, historical cost concept, money measurement concept, going concern concept, consistency, prudence, realization, duality. So there is an entire different lesson. Based on this, we'll discuss all these things in very detail, great detail, and so you can have brief overview of all these things. So the use of computerized accounting system in recording financial transactions, the advantages, disadvantages of accounting of introducing a computerized accounting system, the ways in which the security of data can be ensured with the computerized accounting system. So all these things you'll be learning. So in AS level itself. So this is also part of AS level syllabus. So here particularly, you need to. There are a lot of concepts related to business, whether it is what is double entry and what is bookkeeping, and various concepts related to accounting. So you will be learning more in detail in another lesson. So another lesson is accounting for non-current assets. Candidates will look at the classification of business expenditure with particular reference to treatment of assets. So capital, revenue, income, and expenditure. What is the significance of capital expenditure? What do you mean by revenue expenditure? So what is the significance and relevance? the difference between treatment of capital and revenue income and capital and revenue expenditure, the effect of profit and loss assets of incorrect treatment of capital and revenue. So effect on profit or loss and asset value of the incorrect treatment of profit. So what happens if non-current assets? What do you mean by non-current assets? First of all, so then changing assets values. So what happens when it changes? What are the things that have to be done? Changing value asset values. Candidates should have understanding of factors that cause the value of non-current assets to depreciate. The purpose of accounting for depreciation, non-current assets, and associate application of relevant accounting concepts. How to calculate depreciation using the reducing balance method, straight line method, the most appropriate method of calculating depreciation. How to measure the value of non-current assets by the method of cost model or evaluation model, how to prepare ledger accounts and journal entries for non-current assets, acquisition, revaluation, depreciation, disposal, including entries for past part exchanges. So how to calculate profit or loss on disposal of non-current assets, how to record the net effect of charging depreciation in the statement of profit or loss, statement of financial position. So all these things you know, learn. So particularly, this part is related to accounting for non-current assets. So, so reconciliation and verification. So this is another part. Candidates will assess the importance of being able to prepare complete and accurate financial statements from understanding business records. So a reconciliation and verification should have understanding of need of reconcile how ledger accounts using documentation, internal, external sources, the benefits and limitations of reconciliation and verification procedures. So all these things is being taught. So then we you will learn how to reconcile the differences if there are any mistakes, how to do, how to rectify, how to find out all these things, like reconciliation and verification. So trial balance should have an understanding of errors which affect the trial balances, errors which do not affect the trial balance, omission, commission principle, original entry, reversal, compensating. So all these things you need to learn in detail how to prepare ledger accounts and journal entries to the correct errors using a suspense account. So the effect of the financial statements on the correction of errors, the benefits and limitations of trial balance. So then we learn bank reconciliation statement, which is a candidate understanding of trading cash books, how to prepare bank reconciliation statement, the benefit of limitation of preparing a bank reconciliation statement. So then control accounts. Candidates should have understanding of entries in control accounts, sales ledger control accounts, and purchase ledger control accounts. Reconciliation statements between control account balances and ledger balances, the effect of financial statements of the correction of errors, the benefits and elimination of control accounts. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of reconciliation and verification to provide relevant information and make informed business decisions. So you will be learning this as one lesson. So there are three different lessons. Okay, so one is trial balance and related to that rectification, suspense account, all those things. Then business statement where you compare the transactions with the business. Your bank passbook with the cash book. So what, you will learn what is so then control accounts. Control accounts should have understanding of entries in control accounts, sales ledger, control accounts, purchase ledger, reconciliation statement between control account balances ledger. So effect on financial statements, correction of errors, all these things you will be learning in this part. So, so we'll be solving, what do you say, question papers based on this, and a lot of practical question papers also will be solving. So it's very important. It will be very interesting for you to learn. Analysis and communication of accounting information. Candidates will have diverse interests and range of information needs of parties. And interest on business. Candidates will assess how financial information can be analyzed and interpreted using a range of financial ratios in order to allow users of financial performance. So they will use use of accounting information. So what are the different requirements to owners, managers, employees, investors? So why is accounting information required to all these people? So then the stakeholders, what do you mean by stakeholders? All these things. So we will be learning this users of accounting information, analysis and communication from accounting information. Then what are the various things we'll be doing here? So we'll be using calculation and evaluation of ratios. Okay, so here you can see uh, candidates will evaluate the diverse interests and range of information of participants may have interest in business. Candidates will assess how financial information can be managed into the range of financial ratios in order to allow users of financial to gain an understanding of the business performance. They will explore the use of such ratios in comparison similar business and industry benchmarks, including having appreciation of problems which may limit the usefulness of such analysis. So then, what is there? What are the different type of ratios? So calculation of evaluation of ratios, so the understanding of how to calculate the accounting ratios, measuring profitability, liquidity, and efficiency. Profitability ratios are like gross profit margin, markup profit margin, return on capital employed, expenses to revenue ratio, operating expenses to revenue ratio, liquidity ratios, current ratio, asset test ratio, efficiency ratios, non-current assets turnover, trade receivables turnover days, trade payables turnover days, and need to turn. So candidates may use the formula given in appendix to section 3. So we'll see, we'll just have a look at the formulas also. Candidates are expected to use their understanding of the calculation and the evaluation of ratios to make informed business decisions and relevant information. Cost and management accounting. So in AS level, you will have cost and management accounting, also a bit of cost and management. So cost and cost material and labor movements. So how to account for material and labor. So you will be learning how to use a first in first out method, average, so methods of costing like first in first method, average cost method. So this is costing of materials. Okay, when you cost material, when you account for what is the principles of just in time candidates expected to the understanding of accounting for materials and labor to evaluate relevant information. This one you will be learning material, labor, and overheads. Overheads also. Overheads is a different lesson. So let us see. Yeah, presents to candidates are learning contrasting approaches. Examine how this trade may use in and costing methods to prepare costing methods in job and costing. So absorption absorption overheads within production and service departments. How to calculate overhead absorption rates. So when you are doing the problems. So then marginal costing, margin of safety. What is a break-even margin costing? So traditional costing and understanding the advantages of element value. So how to apply costing concepts, non-financial factors on this. Candidates are to use the understanding of things we'll learn in ES level. So these are the syllabus for the ES level. So we'll be working out couple of questions and try to understand the concepts. We'll discuss question papers. We'll discuss mock exams and test your knowledge questions. So all these things will be done. Okay. So yes. So A level content. So what is in A level content? Financial accounting A level content. So preparation of financial statements. So all these things you already learned in AS level. Most of it you have learned in AS level, but this is a step ahead. Like we'll have to uh, move a step ahead with all these things like partnerships, change in profit sharing ratio. When there are changes in partnership that you will learn retirement, admission, debt dissolution of partnership from all these things will learn here. So then, so as far as partnership is concerned, we will learn changes in partnership. So changes in partnership. So this is the first thing you learn in A level after AS level. In the second part, you will learn preparation of financial statements for clubs and societies. So that is non-profit organizations like clubs and societies, how to record, how to prepare income and expenditure, and sorry, statement of income and statement of financial positions, everything. So then manufacturing business, how to record the income statement of manufacturing accounts. So and or how to record, how to prepare financial statements of manufacturing firms, limited companies, how to prepare what are the various concepts related to limited companies? Statement of profit and loss, statement of financial position, cash flow, changes in equity, schedule of non-current assets. Very important aspects, and we will discuss a lot of questions based on this, and we'll solve examination-oriented questions. Candidates are expected to use their understanding financial accounts of partnerships, clubs, and societies, manufacturing business, limited companies to evaluate relevant information and makes informed business decisions. So you'll be asked to prepare the financial statements of limited companies also, and then financial statements of the manufacturing business. So in A levels, this is you should have a comprehensive knowledge, concept, comprehensive skills. So regulatory and practical considerations. So we'll be discussing regulatory or practical consideration, particularly international accounting standards, and what are the requirements, how to the main provisions of each of the following international accounting standards, like presentation of financial statements. What are the considerations you need to keep in mind? Inventories, how to value the inventories. Seven different types of inventories are there. A group of inventories are there. Statement of cash flows, how to prepare a statement of cash flow. What are the different uh, things related to a statement of cash flows, accounting policies, changes in accounting estimates, and others, concepts related to that. So, what happens when there are changes in accounting estimates, errors? So, events after the accounting period. So, suppose if there is any event, how to record it, how to plan, how to report it, property, plant, and equipment. So, how to record and report, and various kind of concepts related to property, plant, and equipment, impairment of assets, what is impairment, how to deal with it. So provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets. So all these concepts we'll be discussing. So intangible assets, concepts related to intangible assets. So we'll be discussing all this in detail. So for guidance on the scope of each item that candidates are able to familiar with, teachers are advised to consult the document, teachers guiding from an accounting companies this syllabus. So we'll be discussing this. So don't worry about this. Then ethical considerations. So ethical considerations like in accounting as a subject, ethical considerations, candidates should have understanding of the need for ethical framework in accounting, the fundamental principles of integrity, objectivity, professional competence, confidentiality, professional behavior. So auditors, impact, and the social implications of decision making. So so that is one thing we need to